Oh, the ding-dongs that wear the masks are all upset that you won't just succumb to their social correctness, their political correctness, and you won't don one of those ding-dong masks, even though they don't really work. But, that's just the scientific argument is irrelevant to the politically correct, socially correct ding-dongs that wear the masks. But let's go to all the sewage that's being spewed all over the United States. Let's go to all the sewage that's being spewed all over the world. Sewage crisis, China. Sewage crisis, Mexico. Sewage crisis, England. Sewage crisis, Europe. Sewage crisis, Asia. Sewage crisis, USA. USA sewage crisis. Now, to explain my favorite subject, we'll have to discuss the flushing of the giant toilet lakes in the United States. The toilet lakes, the Great Lakes, the toilet lakes, Lake Champlain, the toilet lakes, Lake George, and they're flushing all the sewage, the leachate from all the septics and the sewers, like the Mississippi and Ohio and the Tennessee River and the Neuse River and the Cape Fear River and the Potomac River and the Ohio River, and it just goes on and on and on and on and on and on and on. The massive sewage crisis in the United States, full of millions of viruses. I mean, these river systems are just loaded and chock full of viruses. But the mask ding-dongs, they just want to talk about the COVID, every day, COVID. More COVID on the news, COVID in everything, COVID in all the advertisements, everywhere you go, COVID. Ladies and gentlemen, there's millions of other viruses they'll use. They're going to use all the other viruses to control you. You're living in an age of great deception. And the mask ding-dongs, like in Warren County, New York. Oh, God, Warren County, New York. What a bunch of masked ding-dongs. All up there in Queensbury and around Lake George. Oh, you can't open your business. You cannot open your business unless Governor Ding-Dong, his orders are followed. If you don't follow Governor Ding-Dong's orders, you can't open your business. And remember, folks, there's 4 million other viruses they'll control you with that they're dumping in sewage all over America, all over Europe, all over Asia. Even Australia's got sewage problems, trust me. Look it up. Do some research, you ding-dongs. So, the crackdown's starting at Duffy's Tavern in Lake George, New York. My good old friends Kathy and Kevin and Michael Duffy, Mike Duffy there, I guess his name. I think his name was Mike. Yeah, something like that. The crackdown begins at Duffy's Tavern in Lake George, New York, where there's been people ratting each other out that they're not, following the ding-dong mask rules and the ding-dong social distancing rules. Ladies and gentlemen, there's sewage being dumped all over planet Earth by the governments. How long are they going to impose social distancing? There's millions of viruses and gazillions of gallons of sewage being dumped and created all over Earth. How long are they going to impose the mask ding-dong rules? And then they're going to do the ding-dong vaccinations. You're going to be forced to do the ding-dong vaccinations, and they're going to be forced to do the track and trace, where they put applications on your phones and track everybody who's been determined to be ill, who's got a temperature. I mean, you can't get in a restaurant if you got a temperature. Think about that. Let that sink in a minute. Ladies and gentlemen, the flushing of Lake George. Wake up. Why are they flushing Lake George? Would it be the giant brownfield? There's a giant, massive brownfield of sewage and septic that's built up around Lake George for the last 100 years and more. There's a giant brownfield around Lake George. But, explain that to the Duffies. Explain that to John Stroh at Town of Queensbury. Explain that to the people of the United States, all the brownfields all over America. Because the septic systems in America, the millions and millions of septic systems all over America have created a giant groundwater. It's just full of viruses. You can't have it any other way, folks, when you're dumping gazillions of gallons of sewage. The government's doing it, by the way. Guess who owns the sewers? Who owns the sewers? Well, that would be the government. How long are the ding-dong mask enforcers going to make you social distance and walk this way? The little arrows they got on the floors at the supermarkets, you can only walk one direction. They're making you walk one direction, and then they got 6-foot distancing marks everywhere. They got those plastic plexiglass separators up at all the restaurant tables. You can't walk up to a counter anymore without looking through one of those dumb, stupid plexiglass shields. Ladies and gentlemen, you can't see human breath. And the viruses are even smaller than that. The viruses get picked up in the air conditioning systems. The viruses get moved around by the fans. Everywhere you go, when you walk into a supermarket, the place is full of everybody else's breath. When you walk into a mall or a hospital or an airport or a gas station, you go to the Quickie Mart. It's all full of everybody else's breath that's been in there for the last 2 weeks. So tell me, how is it that the plexiglass barriers and all the social distance, how does social distancing work when the fans blow it all around in the air? Yeah, there you go. The what do they call micro droplets? They call it micro droplets. It's not micro droplets. It's the microviruses are floating around in the air, ladies and gentlemen. This stuff's airborne. And let's not forget the 4 million other viruses that they're going to control you with that are in all the sewage they're dumping everywhere. How about that, Mayor Blaze of Lake George Village? All the sewage, Andy Cuomo. Come on there, Basil Sagos of New York State. Letitia James, the Attorney General for New York State, Letitia James. Let's have a real discussion of it. A real discussion of it, folks. Washington, D.C. is full of 4 million viruses in the Potomac River because they dump vast amounts of sewage into the Chesapeake Bay. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you realize it or not, but your government is totally full of sewage. Your government is completely full of sewage. And, Donald Trump here. This one's for William Barr and Christopher Wray over at FBI. Let's have a crackdown on the sewage at the banks. The bankster gangsters. Where's the crackdown on them? Yeah, there you go, folks. They won't crack down on the big political contributors. Oh, hell no. That's what greases their campaigns, right? Donald Trump. Golly, ladies and gentlemen. Mafia Don, old Mafia Donnie. And he's going to run your ding-dong, what do they call it? Oh, yeah. COVID-19 updates, the COVID updates every day from the White House. How many virus updates you going to have there, Donald Trump? You got 4 million other viruses that the government is flushing all over the place. So, ladies and gentlemen, all the information, the links, and the evidence you need are attached below. And my suggestion to the ding-dong mass crowd is wake the hell up. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Hasta la vista, God bless, and you can bet your sweet ass we're coming back.